Well, hi, this is Pastor Bob Cook from the Greencastle Presbyterian Church in Greencastle, Pennsylvania, and I'm here with a faith break for Wednesday, March 1st. It is now moving into the second week of Lent. It was the first full week, but been a week since Ash Wednesday. Is it really possible to have a friendship, an actual friendship with Jesus? Well, Jesus says so. In the 15th chapter of John, he says, "You're my friends if you do whatever I ask. No longer do I call you servants, for a servant does not know what his master is doing, but I've called you friends. For all things I've heard from my Father have made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you, that you should go and bear fruit, and your fruit shall remain." So he calls us his friends. He sought you out and chose you to be his friends. Now, how do we live into that friendship? I think that's the important part. Well, it's not by doing, it's by being. Because we really can't impress Jesus by all the wonderful things we do for him. We don't get little pats on the head and brownie points and all that. It doesn't work that way. We do it by being with him. Human love and friendship are actually an extension of the divine love and the friendship at the heart of the Trinity, that the Trinity is overflowing with love. And so the Trinity overflows with love to all creation, but that includes us in creation. And they share that love with us. So you learn to love Jesus by accepting that he loves you and that he's chosen you and that he knows you intimately. He knows everything about you. You're not going to surprise him by anything. And he loves and accepts you just as you are. And you learn to be with him. I think one of the best ways is you go back to the Gospels. You observe how he interacts with people. In the end of Mark's Gospel, after the resurrection, they're looking for Jesus. An angel says, "Go back to Galilee." Well, in Galilee is where he did his best teaching and his most important miracles. Go back and look at that again. See what's going on. See how he interacts with people. See how he interacts with God, with the creation all around him. He was very astute, an observer of all things. And I think you also learn to love him and move into friendship when you share his passions. Well, his passion was that this world would become more like the kingdom of God than it is now. And it is a mess, really, this world we live in. But when you see his passions, it's about healing and restoring and reconciling and being there and just, well, there's an old country song that Rhonda Vincent says is you can't love God if you don't love your neighbor. And we learn how to love our neighbors. First John says that, actually. You can't say you love God if you don't love your brother or sister. You haven't seen God, but you have seen your brother and sister. Learn how to love God through them. I think that's one of the reasons to go to church. You go to church to learn how to love people. Because I can tell you, at some point or another, church and churches will disappoint you. You will find that we're very human and that we're very not always good followers of Jesus. But that's where you go, because it's all of us. And as we go, we learn how to love and accept and care for people as they are. We find that we too are loved and accepted and cared for just as we are. And when you know that there's nothing you can do to turn Jesus away, to ever cause him to stop loving you, that he's always there, that's when you begin to sharpen your spiritual perception and you realize his actual presence. We don't always tune into that presence because we are so distracted. We are distracted by every little thing that usually doesn't mean very much. But when your spiritual sense is sharpened by the friendship of Jesus and you realize his actual presence, that is transformative. And I hope that for you. I think that Lent is one of those times when Sharpening your spiritual perception is one of the most important things you can do. And you do it not by, well, doing, but by being. We'll keep working on that, and I will see you again tomorrow. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.